In a world where high-security prisons are engineered to be impenetrable, one man defied logic, metal bars, and razor wire, again and again. His name may not appear in your history books, but among law enforcement agencies across continents, he became a legend. Some called him the Ghost, others whispered his name with a mix of respect and fear. But the truth is more incredible than any myth. This is the astonishing true story of Michel Vaujour, the man who escaped prison not once, not twice, but 5 times, and once even by helicopter. A mindset on freedom. Born in 1951 in France, Michel Vaujour's life started unremarkably. But as he came of age, he spiraled into a world of armed robbery and high-stakes crime. By his early 30s, he was already a notorious figure in the French underworld and a familiar name in police stations across the country. But unlike many criminals, Vaujour wasn't just a thug. He was brilliant, resourceful, observant, and obsessed with control. He refused to live inside the cage society had built for him, literally. His first major escape came in 1986, and it wasn't through a tunnel, a guard's error, or a riot. It came from the sky. The helicopter heist that made history. On May 26, 1986, inmates and guards at Paris' notorious Santé Prison heard the impossible, the thunder of helicopter blades overhead. Moments later, a small chopper dropped into the prison yard like a scene out of a blockbuster film. Inside, Vaujour was already in motion. Armed with nothing but a fake pistol made of soap and tinfoil, he forced his way to the rooftop. His wife, Nadine Vaujour, was piloting the helicopter. Let that sink in. His wife learned how to fly just for this escape. Together they soared out of the prison, leaving behind baffled guards and a system that was beginning to realize Michel Vaujour didn't he play by anyone's rules but his own. 5 escapes, 1 mission. While the helicopter escape made headlines worldwide, it wasn't Vaujour's first taste of freedom, or his last. Between the 1970s and 1990s, he escaped 5 different prisons, each with its own level of security. Each time, the method was different, a forged key, a hidden passage, a disguise. But the goal was the same, total liberation. Unlike the stereotypical brute who might rely on chaos or violence, Vaujour's escapes were surgical. He studied prison layouts, he observed guard rotations, he trained his mind as much as his body. In one escape, he feigned illness for weeks, then broke free during a hospital transfer. In another, he manipulated fellow inmates and guards alike, orchestrating a distraction while he slipped through a service tunnel. But perhaps what made him most dangerous was his ability to wait. He was patient. He could delay gratification for months, even years, while he prepared. The psychology of the escape artist. What makes a man risk everything again and again? Psychologists and criminologists who studied Vaujour suggest a rare blend of traits. Extreme self-belief. Vaujour believed no walls could hold him. Strategic empathy. He studied people, not just systems. A need for control. Prison represented more than confinement. To Vaujour, it was a psychological war. Romantic obsession with freedom. For him, liberty was more than a right. It was a religion. He didn't just escape from walls, said one former guard. He escaped the rules of how we think prison is supposed to work. Capture, silence, and reflection. In 1997, Vaujour was shot in the head during a failed robbery. He survived, barely, and was reincarcerated. But something had changed. During his final prison stint, he turned inward. He began to study Buddhism, meditation, and philosophy. His body had been trapped again, but his mind had found another form of escape, introspection. He eventually gave interviews, soft-spoken and calm, discussing the ideas of impermanence and mental discipline. No longer just a rebel, he had become something stranger, a philosopher of freedom, legacy of a living legend. Michel Vaujour's story continues to fascinate because it exists at the border of lore and legend, rebellion and redemption. Was he a criminal? Absolutely. But he was also a tactician, a romantic, a man who defied the very idea of confinement. His escapes didn't just challenge bars and guards, they challenged the concept of what it means to be free. And as for the rest of us, we're left with a question that lingers like a shadow after the helicopter fades into the sky. If walls can't contain the mind, is anyone ever truly imprisoned? In an era of digital surveillance, facial recognition, and reinforced concrete, a man like Michel Vaujour feels almost mythical. But he was, and is, real. Not because he had magic powers or superhuman strength, but because he had something most people don't: the unshakable belief that freedom, no matter the cost, was always possible. And for better or worse, he proved it. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Would you consider him a hero or a fool?